Why do we behave the way we do? Why do we make the same choices, repeat the same habits, and react in the same ways, even when we know better? As someone who's studied the human mind, I've come to believe that if we want to understand human behavior, we have to go deeper than just logic or surface motivation. And no one understood this better than William James. James, one of the founders of modern psychology, saw human behavior not as something random, but as something with purpose, something tied to function, habit, emotion, and will. Let's start with habit. James believed that habit is the invisible architecture of our lives. Most of what we do, how we talk, think, move, and decide, isn't based on conscious reflection. It's habit. Repetition creates patterns, and those patterns become our behavior. We don't choose our actions from scratch every day. Instead, we rely on what James called paths of least resistance, automatic responses built from past experience. That's why changing behavior is so hard. You're not just fighting thoughts, you're rewiring pathways. Now think about emotion. James proposed something radical for his time, that we don't cry because we're sad. We're sad because we cry. In other words, the body reacts first, and the mind interprets the reaction as an emotion. This means that our behavior often shapes our feelings, not just the other way around. Have you ever forced yourself to smile and noticed your mood shift, or stood tall in a moment of fear and suddenly felt stronger? That's behavior influencing emotion, just as James described. And then there's attention. James believed that what we attend to determines our reality. Where you place your attention is where your energy flows. What you notice, what you ignore, what you think about, that shapes how you behave. Not just what you do, but who you become. Attention isn't passive. It's a choice. And that choice has consequences, but perhaps the most underrated force in human behavior, according to James, is the will. The power to choose, even in the face of resistance, the ability to override impulse and say, "I will do this anyway." He said, "The essential achievement of the will is to attend to a difficult object and hold it fast before the mind." That means willpower is not just about pushing, it's about focusing, about keeping a goal in sight long enough to take action even when part of you wants to quit. So when we ask, why do we behave the way we do? James would point us toward 4 forces. Habit. The behaviors we repeat shape who we are. Emotion. Our reactions feed our feelings. Attention. What we focus on becomes our world. Will. The ability to choose in spite of resistance. These forces interact. They loop and build upon each other. And that's what makes human behavior both complex and beautifully changeable. If you want to change your behavior, you don't just need more knowledge. You need to engage all 4 of these areas, build better habits, regulate your emotions through action, guard your attention like it's gold, and strengthen your will, one decision at a time. William James believed that behavior is not just reaction, it's creation. We create ourselves through what we repeatedly do. So if you're wondering how to change, how to grow, or how to better understand the people around you, start here. Not just with what we think, but with what we do, and as James would remind us, act the way you want to feel, and soon you'll feel the way you act.